here on my front porch again, and I have a couple of things that I'm thinking about that I want to share, but I think most of this is relatable to new moms, so I guess I would gear this video towards a new mom. I think it could also apply to some quarantine emotions too, because I know that quarantine is wrapped into this a little bit. But I feel like I am constantly grappling with my priorities. And I know that this is a transition phase that I've been going through because my son is 9 months old, almost 10. So, you know, when you have a baby for the first time, the first 90 days, honestly, is like another planet. I had a wonderful experience. I really loved having him, and every moment was joyful. Or I should rephrase that. I could find joy in everything that was happening. Through all the pain, through recovery, crying baby, sleeping, like lack of sleep, learning how to breastfeed, infections, like everything happened, you know. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't like holding this happy little man. Everything was perfect. No, it was not. It was real life. But the love and like the overwhelming feeling of excitement and having this baby, it just kind of like trumps all of that. And so I was luckily able to cling to that happiness and joy and just stick out what was going on and not really feel too affected by it. But I have noticed, and maybe this is just a personal experience, or maybe other people feel like this too, a lot of my understanding or reflection or like emotion comes after. A lot of it is in hindsight. So when things are happening, whatever I'm in the middle of, I'm like, oh, it's fine, it's no big deal, or it doesn't hurt, or I'm not this, or, you know, I'm not stressed, or I'm not tired, whatever the feelings are. I don't necessarily identify them when they're happening, if that makes any sense. It's almost like afterwards I can look back and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. When you're like out of the fog. But it's not a fog, because that's always just the stages, like, and it can be anything. But when it's happening, it's not like, it's not super overwhelming for me. I think that's what it is. I don't feel overwhelmed, and so I'm like, oh, this is just it, blank. This is what I'm doing, and I don't feel like it's a big deal. And then when I look back, or when I explain it to other people, or as time has gone by, I'm like, wow, that was a big deal, or wow, I can't believe that I handled that with grace or without grace or whatever. So the first 90 days of having a baby is just like, you are so underwater. You are in survival mode. You have no idea what's happening with your body. You're learning to take care of this little baby. It's really a lot. It's scary. And I think in that 4-month fog, right around 4 months, I came out of the fog, and I remember talking to a friend who was on her 3rd child, but our babies were born 2 weeks apart, and I was getting into like clothes, and I wanted to like style my hair and put makeup on. It was like, I realized at 4 months, like, whoa, I have not paid any attention to myself. Since I had this baby, I'm just throwing on whatever's clean, whatever doesn't hurt, because so many things are healing and leaking and just hurting, that everything is about comfort. Every single piece of clothing that you put on is about comfort and functionality. Nothing is for style, nothing is for looks. And around 4 months, you kind of like hit this little stride where you're like, okay, I'm getting the hang of this. And then you look in the mirror and you're like, who is that person? Right? Because you like haven't thought about yourself or looked in the mirror. And so that was for me when I started to realize, like, okay, I'm not pregnant anymore. I'm a person. I want to wear things that make me feel good. And I started looking at my wardrobe and choosing things that fit, and that were functional again, but in a different way, not like survival functional, but like, okay, I'm gonna go to church and I want to look put together, and I want to look nice, but I also might have to breastfeed, or I don't want something, whatever. I'm trying to pick an outfit for like church, let's call it. And so, and then you struggle. I struggle with trying to figure out what's appropriate. And then comes like the hair and makeup and nails, and like, I'm a girly girl. I love to be girly, and I wouldn't consider myself high maintenance, but there have been times in my life that I have been high maintenance. Now is not one of those times. As you can tell, I'm barely ever wearing makeup in any of my videos. My hair is normally thrown up like this, and yes, maybe I hit it with a blow dryer so I looked, decent, not like I just crawled out from under a bridge. But this is the point that I'm getting to. The reality is, there is not time for that right now, and I struggle with that. So in times in my life, I'm a hairdresser. I like to have good hair, and not only do I want to have good color, but I want to have a good haircut. I want my hair to look good all the time, because that's what I focus on other people. So of course I focus on it with myself. And you may hear a siren in the background. There's tons of sirens lately, over the past couple days. But so I always want my hair to look good. And in times in my life, I have worn extensions, all sorts of different kinds of extensions. And I've spent time on my hair. Like, I've been able to heat style it. I've been able to put products in. I've been able to futz with it and clip it the way I want and wear it down. And I think that's part of my identity. And so, geez. Okay, I think the siren's ending. And it's also downpouring behind the camera. So, anyways, I go back and forth with myself in what I have time to maintain. And the time is really the thing that I struggle with, because there are so many times in the day that I have downtime. Of course, like my son's napping right now. Of course, there's times when he's content in his little like play yard, or I can put him in a scooter, or a swing or whatever, and I want to like make myself up a little bit, or do my hair, or put on a little bit of makeup, just because you feel better about yourself. And especially with this quarantine, being home all the time, I see so many posts of like all dressed up and nowhere to go. Like, we are definitely all experiencing that, whether you're a new mom or not, where our cute outfits, painting our nails, putting on makeup, all the maintenance and the styling of ourselves that used to have a purpose is really kind of like a dead end right now. So it feels good to do all that stuff, but then you have nowhere to go. So we're all like missing that part of our lives. And, for being a new mom, I miss all that stuff too. But it always seems like inopportune when I do have the time or the energy to do that stuff and make myself feel better, because then it seems like Murphy's Law will have it that there's something that will mess it up after. So for example, like yesterday, I had time. My son took a really long nap, and I have these bonded extensions on the sides, a couple, which I did a video on and showed you how I put them in, which they've been great, and I love wearing my hair down now. because it's filled in all those areas, and I love having my hair down. It's gotten really long and I like it. Well, it has been 90 degrees and humid for the past week. So, like, I'm so excited to wear my hair down, but it's too hot to wear my hair down because it's like sticking and making me hot. Can't sleep with it down. It's just too much. And then my son pulls on my hair. He pulls on all these little hairs back here. There's like tons of little broken baby hairs. Like, I already have baby hairs back here, but now there's just like chunks because he puts his hand in my hair when he hugs me and he like pulls on my hair. And he has little sticky baby fingers that seem to always be like wet and clammy and sticky from food, spit. I have no idea. I hope you guys can hear me because it's downpouring and the cars on my road are driving by really loud. So his hands are always sticky and he like creates big knots in my hair, and he's also in like a biting phase now, so he bites me and we're working on that. But he also pulls this part of my hair and he sucks on it. So like all he wants to do right now, he's teething and he's a clingy boy. He wants to be held, he wants to nuzzle his head up in me, and I love holding him and it's great. And then he starts sucking on my hair and pulling it with his little crabby claws, and it's ripping and it hurts. So it's like I spent all this time yesterday blowing out my hair because I took a shower, I blew it out, and I wore it down, and then it was 90 degrees and humid, and then my son is like pulling on it, sucking on it, and ripping it. And it's such a bummer because you got to put it up. And it might not sound like a big deal, but that's just one of like a million things where in my head I'm like, what was the point of even doing that? I may as well have put my hair up wet when I got out of the shower, because that's what I normally do. Is just put it up wet and just wear it like that. And then I don't care. You know, it's still annoying that he's pulling on it, but I don't care as much. But then when I had the downtime to do it, it's like, okay, so that's just one example. But in the bigger picture here, same thing with makeup. Like, okay, I want to put a little bit of makeup on. You know, you guys know I struggle with acne, and honestly, I'll talk a little bit about that, but I'm in a kind of a good spot here with my skin. I added something to my routine, so I'll talk a little bit about that. But I really cannot stand... Oh boy, now it's thundering. It is really pouring. I'll show you. Oh, I don't think I can flip the camera. Never mind. I really struggle with my acne, and you know, we all have like a couple of things that we're really self-conscious about. It's like, you could probably say there's 3 things about yourself physically that you really are insecure about. And obviously nobody else cares and nobody pays any attention to it, but it probably dictates a lot of like what you wear, what you do, how you present yourself, okay? So one of my things is like my skin breaking out. I can't deal with it. I hate it. When I post these videos, it's all I look at. It makes me want to put on foundation or put a filter on my camera so that I can film a video. And I'm just being really honest. So to push myself out of my own comfort zone, to just accept the fact that it really doesn't matter, nobody cares, no one is looking at it, and it only bothers me, I purposely film these videos where you can see my skin for what it is, because I just need to work on my confidence there, and it's just one way for me to like put myself out there and just accept it. Like, it's just part of me and it's not a big deal. But I like lose sleep over my acne, you know, and it sounds ridiculous. And that's what anyone would say to anybody that said, well, such and such about me bothers me about myself. You know, it's just an insecurity. It's just your brain telling you that, you know, you're less than perfect because you feel insecure about this one thing. It could be your weight. It could be the size of your feet. It could be your hair. It could be a mole on a certain part of your body. Like, it could be anything. Your height. Like, it could be anything. And so I purposely put myself out here without makeup on to accept myself, but also to be more relatable. Like, I have stuff I want to say, and people I want to relate to, and messages that I want to get across, and I want to create a community of, you know, vocalizing your struggles and your triumphs in all seasons, you know. And I know that a lot of people cannot relate to me right now because maybe they're not going through the same phases of life that I am, but there are a ton of people that are. And so I am speaking to everybody, but I am definitely speaking to those people who are in the same phase of life as me and are going through the same things. I want to, like, rise above these social media posts that everything looks perfect and let you guys know what I'm really working through. That's real, you know? So yes, do I want to put makeup on and blow out my hair and film these videos? Hell yes, because I want to create this image of myself. I don't have time. I don't have time. And I could do that, and then what would happen is I would spend 30, 40 minutes making myself look good, and then my son would wake up, and I would be so bummed out because I couldn't, like, speak on my video about what I wanted to say. And, you know, then the other side of the pendulum is like, so I throw my hair up wet, I do it without makeup, and then I watch these videos and I'm like, oh, I look awful. I wish I could have just got myself together. But I can't. And so I can't do both. And so that's exactly my point. You can't do everything. You can't have everything all at once. Right now, my priority is sitting on the ground, drinking cold coffee, playing with my son, okay? Sitting on my front porch in a rainstorm, filming my transition to share with other people. It's not sitting in front of a vanity getting ready. Although I love doing that. Although I love walking around feeling really good about myself. I have to just come to terms with the fact that I'm not always going to really just love the way I look because I have other stuff to do. And it just, there are going to be times in my life when my kids go to school and I can sit for a half hour or an hour and get myself ready, and there's not going to be babies pulling on my hair and sucking on my, like, neck. But it's not right now. So that's kind of what I wanted to get across, is like, I think about some of the maintenance that I used to do that I miss. Like, I used to self-tan all the time, and I used to get my nails, well, not always get my nails done, but have my nails done. Like, I would do my nails. So I would do press-ons, or I would paint them. I would get pedicures. My hair was always looking good. Even if it was just, like, thrown up and styled, it was always done. I would wear, like, makeup that felt good. I got Botox. I would have clothes that, like, were stylish. But those clothes right now aren't functional, because the thing is, I have to bend over all the time and, like, load my car and unload my car and pick up my son and like I said, breastfeed him. And so I went through my closet the other day, and, you know, the image that you want to be, right? So, like, what kind of person do I want to look like? What kind of style do I want to have? And what kind of mom do I want to look like? And there's a lot of things that I feel like I'm not willing to just give up because I'm a mom now. You know, I wear a nose ring, and I'm not taking my nose ring out. I love it. It's part of my identity now. And I'm sure there are plenty of people that would say, well, you're a mom now, you should take out your nose ring, or, you know, you shouldn't get more tattoos or whatever. And I disagree with that. I think that that stuff is part of your personality. Like, however you want to express yourself. And let me be clear. If you are a mom that wants to wear makeup and curl your hair every day, and you have a baby and you want to put on jeans and a nice shirt every single day, God bless you. That's amazing. I'm jealous of you. There are a lot of moms out there that do that, and I think that is awesome. That is what you make a priority, and that makes you feel good, so you should do that. And somehow, if you find time for that, tell me. Like, I don't know how you do it, but I know there are people that do that. So God bless you. Like, no judgment. That's amazing. But things that are your personality, I don't feel, or your expression of yourself, I don't feel you should have to stop doing just because you have children. But I am going through a transition of how I want to present myself. And like I said, I went through my closet the other day, and there are a bunch of things that I got rid of. And the reason is not because, oh, I'm a mom now, I can't wear that. No, that's not the reason. And it's hard to like put my finger on exactly what I'm trying to say here. But there were things in my closet that maybe were from a previous me that I was holding on to, because once my body went back to the size that it would fit into those clothes again, I would wear them. But what I figured out is the places that I wore them and the times that I wore them in the capacity that I wore them is gone. Okay, so like, I'm grieving that a little bit, you know, some of like the things that were like cut out or low back or whatever, you know, because I wore them to whatever event, or like, even if I went back to that same event or place right now, I wouldn't wear that, even though it fits me. So hopefully that makes sense. And there's nothing against those clothes. I love those clothes. I bought them and I wore them. And they were me. But they were like 28-year-old single me. And it's different. I'm married and I have a baby. And I still don't want to be like the basic mom. For sure, that's not me. I think everybody knows that. It doesn't mean I'm buying khakis and pullovers. Like, no, that's not me. But there's this new, like, turf of this fits my personality. It also fits the way I want to present myself and how I want to look as a mother. How I want my son to see me portray myself. And what I want to teach him about how to view women and treat women. And yeah, he's really young right now. Like, he might not even pick up on these things yet. But, you know, you have to make little changes every day to get to a bigger picture. So this is just one of the little tiny things that I'm starting to tweak. Just starting to tweak, where in a year or 2 years, I'll have it down more. And he'll see that. So, you know, my image for him is important. So I got rid of some clothes, and I guess that's just what I'm trying to say is you transition in and out of different phases of your life, and it's fun to look back on those times and not to try to like have them all at once. I can't combine my old clothes, my old lifestyle with my new time, my new priorities, my new roles, and then that's going to be different again in 10 years or 5 years, you know? So I'm like going through this transition, and I just want to let anyone know who's going through this exact feeling that it's normal. And, it's not crystal clear. None of it is crystal clear. I had something on the other day that I thought was cute and comfortable, and I felt good. I took a walk, and then I actually ended up having to go to the store, which is rare, but I went to the store. And when I got to the store, I was like, I wish I wasn't wearing this. Now, I have not thought, like, I haven't felt like that in so long. But I was like, I wish I wasn't wearing this. It was kind of slobby. And I wished that I had, like, put on jeans. And I just kept saying to myself, why didn't I just throw on jeans before I did this, before I came? So it's like little thoughts like that maybe I didn't used to have. Maybe this is called maturity. Just throwing that out there. Just maturing a little bit. But if you're in this phase, it's normal, and you can reinvent yourself every day, and it could be something as little as, reinventing yourself with like something tiny, like, oh, I always used to wear lip gloss, and it's not functional for me to wear lip gloss or lipstick anymore because I don't have time to put on the rest of my face, so I'm gonna switch to like chapstick or a gloss. And for a few days, you're gonna be like, oh, I miss myself with lipstick, because that's like your identity. But then you adjust and you'll get used to it. So anyways, I hope that all made sense, and it didn't seem like I was rambling, but I think for new moms that are coming out of that mom fog, coming back to reality, getting to that almost year postpartum where you feel like life should be getting back to normal, your body's getting back to normal, your routine is like hunkering down, and you're like, yeah, I want to be my old self. But then you're like, who is that? I think that's normal. So, yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Of course, the rain just stopped and it's quiet. So, have a great day.